Good morning. Happy Hump Day in the Bliss Collective. Yay, it's another Hump Day, Hump Day, Hump Day, yay. It's a Hump Day Happy Chat, Hump Day Happy Chat, Hump Day Happy Chat. Woohoo! Let me just make sure everything is going where I want it to go. Yabba dabba doo. So excited to be here with you. It is uh, Hump Day, Happy Chat, in I'm in the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self Mastery in Southern California. This is a shout out to you wherever you are. Uh, First things first, I know two important birthdays today. One of them is a member of our group. There may be others, I don't know, but for at least for this person, I know that it's his birthday today. So this is a shout out to a very dear friend, someone who I love very much. Uh, Chip, happy birthday, my friend. I'm wishing you the best always. I love you. I miss you. I hope all is going well. And um, thanks for being a part of the group. And I am sending all kinds of blessings for true joy and peace and prosperity for this next year of your life, my friend. And one of my spiritual teachers was also born today. His name is Michael Berger. So, Michael is not on technology at all, doesn't even have a cell phone, doesn't use the computer. So, he's probably only going to hear about this from our angels talking to each other and then him getting the message that way. So, I still say deep love and honor to you, and thank you for all that you have been as a co creator and a blessing in my life. Thank you. Yay! And any other members of the, maybe we should start a birthday trail. So, I would invite you to announce your birthdays, announce other people's birthdays, get on live and shout them out. Um, it's the Bliss Collective. So, we're creating the bliss that we expect to experience. So, jump right in and do it. Be it. You have my blessing. Not only my blessing, my invitation, my permission, all of the above. Okay, so hi. Uh, Again, I'm Valerie Shepard. I am the founder of the Hartley Center for Mindfulness and Self Mastery. That's where the Bliss Collective was born. I'm on a mission to conquer the world, conquer the world with love, peace, joy, and emotional freedom. And so we're starting right here with this little community of ours that is on a mission to create more self awareness, self acceptance, and self love that starts a ripple effect of happiness across the planet and helps people create their bliss, create and experience their bliss, and then express their bliss. And it's like a cycle of reciprocity, right? When you express it, then you experience it, and then as you experience it, you get supported to express it even more, and it's just a juicy spiral of absolute yummy, 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 yumminess. So, thank you for joining us. I'm going to do a quick commercial, which is a request to please invite others so that we can all in this community support one another. One other request is that you please engage. Feel free to post. Remember, one of the rules of engagement was to play full out. So I'd love to hear from you. What are you getting? What are you noticing? What's coming up? What do you need help with? And if it's not something that you want to go all public in the group with, that's okay. It's not a problem. Just send me a direct message, and I'll what is it? What is it? I'll change the names to protect the innocent, which I do all the time anyway. Like some of my stories, I just make about me, even though they're not. Um, so the whole idea here is how can I support you? And sometimes maybe I have to kick you in the butt a little bit, but that's okay. It happens to all of us. So thank you so much for being here. If you're watching the replay instead of being here live with me, would you please just, when you write your comments, put pound replay or just put pound replay. Let me know that you saw the replay. I moved my Hump Day Happy Chat out of public land, doing it on my Facebook page, to bringing it here into the Bliss Collective to be something special just for members. And so this is some time you get to know that I'm a real person. It's not just a bot posting things. It's actually Valerie Renee Shepherd here with you. And hopefully you will feel my energy and be inspired to comment, inspired to play more, inspired to let other people in on what's going on in your little corner of the collective. Yay. So once again, here we are for the Hump Day Happy Chat. I do these on Wednesday mornings, and the whole idea is to provide you with some hacks for increasing your self-mastery, which is mastering you in your life so that you can exquisitely manage whatever your life brings your way. And given that our lives sometimes bring us a whole heaping helping of, ooh, what the heck is that? It does help to have an ally and some specific things that you can do. And what I hope you're doing is like keeping track. It would be wonderful to put these things into practice and then see what happens. And then put them into practice again and see what happens. And then put them into practice again and see what happens. This is the long haul race, my friends. Your life is too important to make it about the 30-second fix or the once and you're done solution. This is about unfolding into you, like unfolding you as you unfold into you. Does that make sense? Unfolding you as you unfold into you. So some of our unfolding is about letting go of old stories and masks and conditioning and fears and wounds and hurts and angers and guilts and shames. And I've yet to meet a person on the planet who doesn't have those, at any station in life. So it's nothing to be upset about. It's nothing to compare. Well, my misery's worse than her misery, or, wow, they look so happy and I don't. What's wrong with me? It's not about that. It's about how do we all have all of the happiness that there is available to us at any given moment. Yay, 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 yabba dabba do. Yay, 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 yabba dabba do for that. I like that idea. Okay, so everybody take a deep breath. Today I want to talk about something that I've been going through personally. And I titled today Hump Day Happy Chat number 125. Woo! Reboot, relaunch, and a mulligan. Reboot, relaunch, and a mulligan. You knew I had to get some sports thing in there because I'm a sports hound. Yes, I did watch the Final Four. Yes, I was up and then down and then up and then down, and oh my gosh, it was such a good semifinal game. The one I watched with UCLA and Gonzaga. Ooh, baby. So I'm into sports stuff. So there's a sports metaphor, a sports reference in here, not a metaphor this time, just a reference. Okay, so reboot, relaunch, and the mulligan. Here we go. So reboot, and I look up things because I'm a communications major first. Merriam-Webster defines reboot as the act or instance of shutting down and starting something over, restart. Relaunch, pretty simple, reintroduce or restart, right? A restart. And then mulligan, I don't know how many of you golfers are out there. I love golf. I haven't played actually in 5 years. I haven't swung. We'll see. I do archery to try and rehab this right side. And so one of these days, maybe this summer, I will make a point of swinging a club. It sounds like fun. I've putted, but I haven't knocked one off the tee in a long time. Okay, so the mulligan, as you can tell, is a term that's associated with golf, which basically means do-over. So it's a little bit different in a reboot or relaunch, but because those are kind of like a starting all over again. But when you hear one of the stories of the Mulligan, it was about starting all over again, basically a second try. Now, in all of these instances, people think of reboot, relaunch, Mulligan, restart as, well, we screwed it up. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it well. So now I'm going to start over. And often we go into the restart, not always, and not everyone, but sometimes we can go into the restart, the do over, kind of carrying a little bit of guilt, a little bit of shame, maybe a little grief, like all of that from the first start into the second start. We may even tell stories. Like if the second start wins, does well, we may even tell stories about how, well, yeah, I got it right the second time. Have you ever done that? Like you kind of tattle on yourself. Um, well, it took me 3 times, or third time's a charm, but ho ho ho, I got it done. Yeah, I've been there. It doesn't feel good when I say those things. And so this is a story about how can we just do the restart? Like, it doesn't matter why we're restarting. In fact, what if the restart's perfect? Like, what if every time a basketball player was stuck in the first time they took the shot, the second time or the third time or the 10th time they took the shot, and they somehow impacted the way they took that next one because they were so far gone in the past with the first time? Like that would really, but probably, if not absolutely, negatively influence their performance the second time, or third, or fourth, or fifth, or 10th, or 110,000th. So, what about that? So, the Mulligan, apparently, there are 3 different versions of the story. The Mulligan is actually a person, David Bernard Mulligan, whose story has to do with 3 different ways that he actually did a do over, took a shot again. And one of those stories has to do with him arriving late to the golf match. This is according to the U.S. Golf Association, so the USGA, that he arrived late to a match. He was so flustered that when he teed off, his ball went way off to the side, not straight down the fairway. And so he just took another ball, teed it up, and hit again. And people are like, what are you doing? And he said, well, I was so rattled because of what happened on my way over here that I just thought I would take a second shot. And so that has gone down in history. Mulligans are still played today, and people take a second shot as they decide. Now, not all the way through the game, the match, but through their 18 holes or 9 holes or whatever they're playing. Some people actually play 36 holes and more a day. To me, it's this old bod is happy to get through 9. When I make it through 18, we're really dragging tail by the time we get to the 18th hole, and the 19th hole is a blessing. So the whole idea here is restart, a reboot, relaunch, and a mulligan, which is basically saying it doesn't matter why, it doesn't matter when, it really doesn't matter how. You get to decide, just like David Bernard Mulligan did, you get to decide if what you're wanting to create warrants that you reboot, relaunch, and or take a mulligan. You get to decide. And I'd say you get to relaunch, reboot, and take a mulligan multiple times during the day. You could decide midway through the day, wow, this is not going the way I thought it would. Disengage. Take a couple deep breaths. Anchor yourself in your body again. Maybe take a walk. Maybe go listen to your favorite song. Maybe just do 10 minutes or 3 breathing. The whole idea is whatever you need to reboot. So now I live this all the time, but one of my most Yes, I do. Tweet, tweet. One of my biggest stories for this lately has been um, my nonprofit. So, some of you may know that I started a nonprofit many years ago, and I had a board of directors, and we had started a community partnership, and I was creating content and delivering it through speaking engagements and events, working with an organization north of LA called Rock Life, the Rock Life campaign. Shout out to Mitch Richmond, Hall of Fame basketball player, Mitch the Rock Richmond, who was the founder of Rock Life and who invited me to come play with his team, not play basketball, but play with his community enrichment team. And we were on a roll. We were moving and shaking. We had a great team of people who were helping pull things together. And it looked like we were going to create some magic. We actually um, uh, got bans on bullying passed in 2 cities. We were working on helping youth with self esteem, self acceptance, anti bullying, that kind of thing. It was all about creating positively powerful experiences of yourself in your life, the stuff that I've always stood for, right? And um, I was awarded this beautiful Rock Life Redefine Strong Life Enrichment Award on September 7th of 2013. It was a beautiful thing. Notice the basketball in there? Yes. It was a beautiful thing. And then it wasn't, right? Have you ever had that happen? It was a beautiful thing until, oops, it wasn't. And that's okay. It was a beautiful thing until it wasn't. Something changed, something stopped, something didn't work the same, something just ended, right? Endings happen. Endings happen, whether we want them to or not, sometimes. But beginnings need endings. It's not kind of a cycle of reciprocity. This thing ends so that something else can begin. So I was expanding my purpose. We were moving and shaking and having fun, except for the drive from my house all the way up there was not fun, but we were having fun and we were co-creating. We had parents involved and celebrities involved and all kinds of stuff. And then I had a little thing called a brain hemorrhage. And then it went into several years of dormancy where there was just not enough of me to keep it going. And I was just tired and recovering. And it was just not my time to be doing that. Fast forward to now. And here's where the Reboot, Relaunch, Anna Mulligan is working with Hearts Awakening. And you can go to heartsawakening.org, heartsawakening.org, and I'll type it in the thing, and you can check out this organization. We have now seated a new board. We even have a new, because our focus is on young adults, it's all about young adult self-mastery, and we talk about at-risk young people, but young adults who maybe can't afford to pay for support. I love working with emancipated foster youth, underrepresented minorities. Like that's what I'm about. And so, and by the way, here's my ask. If you know of organizations that could benefit from Hearts Awakening coming and doing a workshop or books, providing my books or some sort of thing, then please let me know, because that would be our great joy to do that. And other members of this collective are either on the board or in the Torchbearers, which is a group of the board members who are very connected to those that we serve. So if you see shouting out to Tori Colby, shouting out to Gary Stewart, shouting out to Jerry Rivas, shouting out to Michael Lara, like all of us are a part of this, and we'd love your ideas for where we can serve, because we've relaunched, rebooted, and done a mulligan on Hearts Awakening, and we have our first big fundraiser coming up On April 21st, we're doing a fundraiser for Hearts Awakening, and we're taking it back on the road. Like it's going. We've decided, and here's the other thing about mulligans and reboots: it doesn't have to be instantaneous, right? I don't do very much instantaneous these days. I get tired, and so it's a year-long trajectory. And thank goodness for help, because there's no way I can do this by myself. Um, but so we're looking for grants, and we've declared 2021 as the relaunch year, the whole year, not one point in time. And we've got a couple different activities and fundraisers going, and we're very excited. So that's my personal story of the excitement of a relaunch. Now, what do you do? Like when you're doing your own relaunch, whether it's a relaunch in a moment of like, okay, let me relaunch my thoughts. Like I've been thinking some negative thoughts. I just caught myself doing it. Let's reboot. Let's reframe. Let's relaunch. I think I have a mulligan on that statement. You may have heard me say cancel clear. Cancel clear is just like a reboot, relaunch, and a mulligan, right? I'm going to do that over. So instead of saying, I'm poor, I can't afford that. Oops, no, I don't want to declare. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. I don't want to declare that. So I will say, whoop, okay, cancel clear, get rid of that thought. I'm going to put a new thought out there. I currently can't see the resources, the money resources that will actually pay for this. And so I'm calling in some clarity on that. If I'm supposed to, when I'm supposed to, I declare that the money resource is showing up. And actually, I declare that a couple thousand times a day. All the money I could ever want or need for whatever it is I'm here to do, to live my purpose and to bring me my bliss, the money resource is always there. And then I just affirm it and trust it and let it go. Yeah, it can be that easy. So when you're doing your reboot, momentary reboot or reboot for something that's huge, you're relaunching your idea. Maybe you stopped going to school and you're like, you know what? I think I'd like to go back. I think I'd like to do it. Maybe you're halfway through school and you want to reboot your major. Maybe you are midlife of your mid-career and you're like, okay, I've been this for 20 years and it ain't working for me anymore. And not that I screwed it up and I never should have picked this. Why did I pick this? That's not what we're talking about. Cancel clear that. What we're talking about is just an awakening and awareness one day when we say, or one moment and we go, not so much. That's all. That's all. So the first thing, as always, in everything that you do to create your bliss-filled life, everything starts with noticing. Noticing where you are, noticing what is going well, what isn't going so well, or what's going bad really well. I like to say that. What's going bad really well. It's like blowing up in my face. What's going bad really well is to look at those things, to notice, not just notice the one thing, but then also notice patterns. Oh my gosh, that looks like that, and that has a little of that in it. Oh my gosh, these are all the same thing. They're all telling me something. Wow, that's a really great day. That's a day worth celebrating. Partly because you now can do something with what you maybe couldn't have done anything with before, but also because you're setting yourself up for a relaunch. You're setting yourself up for a mulligan. You're setting yourself up for a reboot. Yes, yes, yes. So here are the things you do on this journey to relaunch, reboot, and a mulligan. Number one, notice what's going on. Where am I? Number two, keep believing. Keep believing. See it done. Even though you can't really experience that evidence of it being done right where you are. Just keep seeing it, keep believing in it, keep walking toward it. Even if you have to take a break from walking toward it for a couple days or a week or a month or a couple years, like me, 5 years. It's never too late. to do it over anew. If you have to grieve, grieve. If something's been lost, it's okay to grieve. In fact, it's necessary to grieve. Don't make yourself wrong because you've been sad for too long. Don't make yourself weak because you can't get out of the funk. Notice the funk, ask it what it's telling you, and allow it, accept it, receive it. It's giving you a chance to just let go of whatever that goal was and just be where you are and make where you are perfect, perfect, perfectly perfect. Feel whatever's related to it not working out the first time, to not getting there the first time you tried it, or the second time, or the third time, or however many times. Ask Thomas Edison about that. Ask any great athlete about that. Ask any artist about that. I mean, all of us didn't work out the first 100 times, right? We all have different stories about that. So make it okay, make it great. Regroup, right? Next thing is regroup. So that's taking stock of where you are relative to where you started the first time. So that means you have to give yourself acknowledgments and kudos and atta-girls and atta-guys for what you've accomplished. And then set your restart line. Like, okay, we're starting from here. And here's the restart definition. So today, I am this. The project is that. The vision is that. So don't just start it the way it was before, because you're different. You're different. So you've got to start it from where you are now. From where you are. This new place, these new awarenesses, this new refinement, these new abilities, these new understandings, these new expertise. Like, start it anew. Reset the starting line, then open to what's possible. Not just what's possible because you started again, but what's possible because it didn't work the first time. Like, maybe having done what didn't work makes what's possible now even more possible because of something from that. For example, while I'm doing my new the restart of my nonprofit, I learned some things as I talked to other executive directors of nonprofits, some things that I'm doing differently this time that are helping me. And I've seated a board that is very active, very thirsty, very hungry for the mission, and they're already making things happen. So I'm not doing it all by myself. I'm not having to dot every I and cross every T and launch everything. They've taken the reins and they are running with it. My goodness. Yes, so it's opening to the possibilities that are new because I'm doing a restart. Yay. And then just begin again. Begin again. A quote that I like about beginning again, this is a really beautiful one from Charles Bukowski, who wrote this movie. This is an old movie. I think it was Faye Dunaway, and I can't remember the male character, but it's called Barfly. Charles Bukowski, a writer, author. Drink from the well of yourself and begin again. Drink from the well of yourself and begin again. And then Will I Am, more contemporary, things don't have to end. They can begin again. So, it's always available to you. Your reboot, your relaunch, and maybe your mulligan. So it's a matter of pursuing your victory, no matter how many times you might have to shift the way you pursue it. Still see yourself being delivered to the winner's circle. Yay! Yay for the Hump Day Happy Chat. Thank you so much for watching on the replay. I always close with the metta prayer, which is the prayer of loving kindness from the Buddha. It is a beautiful way to sort of kind of reboot your connection to all that is. Your reboot to you being you in your life. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. Yay. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. Your true nature is down here in your heart. It's not all up in your head. Awaken to the light of their true nature, and may all beings be free. Emotional freedom, free from the past, free from the wounds, free from the stories we tell ourselves to keep ourselves down, free from the conditioning that says we're not enough and we don't know how to do it and we're not worthy. Free from all of that. We're rebooting, we're relaunching, we're mulliganing on our lives. Yabba dabba do. And remember, all beings, always includes you. Thank you for being here. Many blessings. Bye now.